Alright, welcome back to the Building a Coral Reef series, everybody. In today's little episode, we've got lots of new additions to the tank, even a whole change to a 75-gallon from a 55-gallon after I noticed something was broken on the 55, and unfortunately we had a pretty significant death. All that to come. Opening up here, we just got a little time-lapse of an overnight. I thought it was pretty cool. You can see the lobsters going around, the crabs going around, everybody's having a good time. And I got just a couple really pretty looking stills of the lobster here. What a beautiful creature. Shogun the lobster. Blue Caribbean reef lobster. Really cool guy. That's that little cave we made up for him. It was really cool. I was saying, we had a pretty significant issue with the tank where actually there was a little bit of a crack in the middle brace at the center of the tank. So I had to hurry to the hardware store, grab this clamp to hold it together because the crack was getting bigger. It was a very small crack, but just that it could basically put way too much pressure on the front glass panel and burst at any moment. So I had to make a quick fix, and then ultimately the fix was upgrading to another tank, and I figured all my equipment's good for a 75-gallon, so why not get a 75? More to come on that. Yeah, we got the anemone opened up in here. It must like the spot I put it in. We got lobsters.
He's posing it.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. We got our three little chromies, Ed, and Eddie. We got a cleaner shrimp, John Baptiste. We got Hitch. We got these little snails. Yeah, coming together. I don't typically name the little guys, just because there's always so many of them. Now, we were starting to get kind of worried about the Caribbean reef lobster because it was starting to stay very still pretty frequently, and we weren't really seeing it eating at any point. This is one of the rare occasions I actually did catch it eating this piece of shrimp I gave it, but it only ate that little chunk, and then that was kind of it, but I did take a time-lapse of it to see if it would eat any more than that. Shogun is eating the shrimp. He's got it in his claws, he's picking it apart, he's eating it. So here he is in, I believe, 32 times speed, with some very quick-sounding piano in the background. Had a little crack in the top of the tank here, right along there. Oops, I just touched the glue. We got some like waterproof super glue basically, glued it together and then put this clamp on there to hold it in place for the time being. So, yep. In the meantime though, everything's looking really nice. Good news. Shogun is eating again tonight. He's got his chunk of shrimp, he's positioned himself on top of it, and he's probably about to start going to town. Hopefully he doesn't eat this shrimp, though. He probably won't. So there's something kind of ironically funny about the big lobster eating a chunk of shrimp and the little shrimp hanging out right above him. Oh goodness. Something just scared him. Oh. Have a good dinner, Shogun. Don't get eaten, John Baptiste. H just changed over into this shell. I just happened to be watching it. Let's see if he likes it. Or if he's gonna change back. I was thinking this would probably be the one he changes into because it seemed like the most next size up. He's going in there, he's looking around in it. So interesting to watch. first he kind of peeked into it while he was in his old shell, jumped down into it, looked around, and then he got into it. Is he gonna stay in there? Does he like it? Nope, he's gonna jump back into his old one. Hitch did not approve. The next morning we woke up to this behavior that was a little bit scary looking. So I took the shrimp out of there. Apparently this behavior where it's kind of twitching and laying on its side could probably mean that it's about to molt. Or it could mean that it's dying. However, I just checked the water parameters, and aside from the nitrites being a little bit elevated, but not to anything lethal, there's nothing wrong with the parameters. So most likely he's molting. That also would explain why he hasn't eaten for a few days. But he had been eating well at the fish store, according to the workers there. So hopefully he's just molting, and hopefully it goes well. So I got him in there acclimating. Diamond head goby. Very cool little guy. As I said there, I had just gotten this diamond head goby from the fish store. And in the meantime, I was also doing a little bit of a water change because some of the parameters were a little bit high. Not to lethal amounts, but enough that it was worth doing a quick water change. Here's a little time lapse. So what these diamond head gobies do is they scoop up mouthfuls of sand and sift it out through their gills to take all the detritus, leftover food, and whatever that's in the sand. It's really fun to watch. Back to the lobster. Unfortunately, after about a day or so of this twitching behavior laying on its side, it was not molted. It was just not moving any longer. And either it was just too shocked moving into the aquarium, or the molt wasn't successful. Regardless, unfortunately, he did not make it.
It's already recorded.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll say a few words.
I'll say a few words.
On behalf of Shogun, the lobster, he's in here somewhere. I don't want to touch him. He's like pokey. He's in here. He's really beautiful. He was very powerful. We saw him at the fish store and we were like, that's so cool. We want to get him. And we did. And all the water parameters were great, but I mean, he was scared from the get-go. He was too stressed and it wasn't happening. And we thought he was molting the past couple days as he was lying on his side, and either the molt wasn't successful or he was just too stressed out. So
Shogun was a beautiful part of our household. He brought us all together in loving faith and harmony. We enjoyed him. We played with him. We had a great time with him. However, as all good things do, he has passed on. We must go forward as he would have wanted us to do. As he always cheered us on, he always gave us encouraging words, laughed with us, cried with us, and everything else. So for now, let him rest in peace.
the goby here has already made a burrow for himself, hanging out under there. Just finished shopping at Petco. Got those clownfish. I also got this real pretty lawnmower blenny that's been there for the longest time. I've been seeing him for a while. He's all funny looking.
So yeah, of course we were disappointed about losing Shogun, but we're moving right along. The goby was making his homes. We got this beautiful clownfish pair that are still doing well. We got that lawnmower blenny. He's so cool looking, and he's super happy. You'll see later in the video how fat he's getting from eating so much algae. The chromies swimming around, the clowns are hanging out. They're not hosting the anemone yet, or rather being hosted by the anemone yet, but everybody's hanging out and everybody's seeming very happy in the tank. Just the blenny looking absolutely hilarious. So we got that beautiful clownfish pair. We got the blennies making his homes, going around eating. That little cleaner shrimp. The tank's really coming together at this point. Of course, there is the matter of having a brace covering the top of the tank, that sticking out into the room, that being a whole mess, and, you know, it was just kind of annoying to look at. So, plan was probably get some acrylic or some glue to fill it with, and that just really didn't end up working. So, what the next plan was, let's get a new tank. Petco's having a 50% off tank sale, and then I figured, you know, what the heck, my canister filter is good for up to 75 gallon, my heater's good for 75 gallons, you know, everything in there is good for up to 75 gallons. Why not just get another 20 gallons of water and another 20 pounds of sand and move up to a bigger tank? And that is exactly what we ended up doing. So I went and spent, it was about $150 for the 75 gallon tank, and there it is set up before we put the water in it. We got it all filled up, and it was looking real cloudy. It looked like that for a day or two, but it ended up settling. There's the old tank sitting on the side, and I put this stuff in there to help it not go into a crazy ammonia spike or anything after we got that stuff in there. And everybody was doing well, and everything's still doing well. So I hadn't spotted the blenny yet after I made the change, but there he is. So I have spotted all of the fish now in the new tank, waiting for sand to settle some more. There's the clowns. You can see the anemone in there. The 3 chromies are around here somewhere. I just saw, oh, there's the blenny eating up some sand. So there's the cleaner shrimp, urchins in there, hermit crabs around here somewhere. So yeah, it seems a whole lot bigger than the 55, and I guess it is. There's a whole lot more room for doing stuff. Went to the pet store this morning on my way to work. Got these 2 Mexican turbo snails. I got 5 more little blue leg hermit crabs. They're around in here somewhere. There's all the fishes swimming around. Yeah, just some cleanup crew. Get things going. I'm planning to get some more tomorrow as well. Anemone's feeding. Just gave it some shrimp. It's got its arms down in its mouth eating. We also got this anemone crab right there. And this feather duster worm, which is closed up at the moment because it's eating some shrimp too.
At maximum capacity already for DMing. I could start my own group, but I don't want to.
I might have another thing.
It's been years and years since I played D&D.
I might have another thing coming up.
Kind of there for that. That sounds good. That would be crazy,
Might be,
but it could be good.
This is so fun to watch. So at this point, 75 gallon is all set up. Everybody's looking way happier. You notice the blenny there is getting a lot fatter, which means it's finding lots of good food to eat. It's enjoying its space a whole lot more. Yeah, here's everybody swimming around and they're having a good time. Just got this really cool cleaner wrasse who's super personable, all up in the all up on my hand when I'm putting it near the tank glass and stuff. So I'm gonna get him acclimating. There we go. It's the next addition to the aquarium. Oh, we got a snail straggler. Very cool little fish. Also got another simple filter to just kind of help clear up the water a little bit more,
because I've got this canister filter in here, but it's made for up to 75 gallons. Typically, from what I understand, you want to go a little bit more than what you actually have. Here's that new cleaner wrasse swimming around in here. Very personable, always runs up to greet me. There's our anemone crab. Look at it catching whatever it's catching. Oh, hello, stealing the spotlight. Got a nice little group of fish in here now. That new filter I got really wasn't working out because it was just creating way too many micro bubbles. That's why it looks kind of cloudy in here right now. So I'm gonna return it, get my money back.
And finally, here's what I was saying about that blenny. Look how chunky it's gotten. Did a little bit of research, and either it could be an infection or he's just eating really, and you know, that seems to be the case. Because if he had an infection, he probably wouldn't be eating too much, and he's definitely eating a lot and very happy about it. And that's the end of this week's video. Not sure if there will be continuing to be a weekly cycle of these, but we'll see as we go. Stay tuned.